How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. This is Penelope. You may have met her before, and Penelope wants to remind you that as of recording, this is election day. Vote, 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 vote. That's what Penelope wants to remind you of. If you have not voted, go vote. If you have voted, find someone who has not. Give them a ride to the polls. Give them a call to remind them to vote. Something, anything. We need election turnout. It's an important election. I mean, I know we hear every time it's the most important election of our lifetimes. Well, this time it just very well may be true. We need you to vote. We need your friends to vote. We need the people you don't like to go vote. So, get out there. You know what? Early voting is a thing that you could have taken advantage of. Mail-in voting is a thing that you could have taken advantage of. If you didn't, you can go vote today. So there are no excuses for not voting. You know, make sure you get out there if you haven't already. Make sure your friends and your family and even the people you don't like get out there and vote. All right? I know how I want you to vote. And I think it's pretty clear if you've seen my channel, you know how I want you to vote. However, it's also clear, as I have stated, your ballot is your business. So if you don't vote the way I want you to, well, no one can do anything about that, can they? If you do vote the way I want you to, no one can do anything about that. Remember that when you vote, it's your vote, no one else's. No one else's. All right? That means if you are a young voter voting for the first time, maybe you're 18 years old and you're going to vote with your parents, you don't agree with them. That's okay. You vote how you want to vote. If you do agree with them, well, that's okay too. You vote how you want to vote. If you are married and your spouse supports something or someone that you don't, you have every right to vote how you want to vote. If you're going to vote with a group of friends and they believe this and you believe that, that's okay. You vote how you want to vote. It doesn't matter, okay? Your ballot, your business. Your vote, your voice. Okay? Don't let anyone tell you different. Don't let anybody pressure you into voting how they want you to vote. You vote the way you want to vote. And you know what? That's true no matter who you are or who it is that wants to pressure you, or even if they're not pressuring you necessarily. You know, for example, my wife and I mean, now we did vote the same way, or at least I believe her when she says that we voted the same way. I don't know for sure, but I believe her. There's no pressure there, but we discuss this kind of stuff. And she votes how she wants to vote. I vote how I want to vote. And that's just the way it is. And sometimes we agree and sometimes we disagree, and that's okay. We have canceled each other out. And, you know, that happens. My parents have been known to cancel each other out when, you know, when my dad was alive, and my mom and dad would go to vote. They would sometimes, usually not, but sometimes cancel each other out. It happens. That's okay. You know how I want you to vote. You know why I want you to vote that way. And I believe that most people will vote that way nationwide, and even that we might even see some changes on the map. By changes, I don't mean just swing states swinging the other way. I mean, there might be one or two that were expected to go one way the entire time that might go the other way. But we will have to wait and see what happens. And just remember, if we don't have results tonight, and if we don't have results tomorrow, that's okay. It just means that they are counting. It usually means that they are very close and they're making sure that they get it right. If it's a complete blowout in a particular state, for example, California or New York, we'll have those results tonight. Other results that we will have tonight will be states like, well, most of the Rocky Mountain states, you know, Wyoming and Utah, and, you know, well, yeah, we will have results from Colorado and Utah and Wyoming, probably Montana tonight. We will have results from the Dakotas and Kansas and Nebraska, Oklahoma. We'll have that tonight. We'll have results from all throughout the South, with the possible exceptions of Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, maybe even Texas. We'll have those results tonight. The entire Northeast, with the possible exceptions of the 2nd District of Maine and the state of New Hampshire. We'll have those tonight. But if we don't have results from Iowa, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, I don't remember if I included Texas in there, but we might not have Texas results tonight. We might not have New Mexico's results tonight. Might not have Virginia's results tonight. If that happens, be patient. They are counting. All right? They're making sure the count is right. Just remember that rural areas report first because they don't have as many votes to count. If you get votes reported in from, say, Iowa County, Wisconsin, right? If those results are known tonight, well, that's because it's a small, mostly rural county. If we don't have results from Dane County, Wisconsin, well, or Dane County will report later. I'm sorry, I actually brain broke there for a second. Dane County, that's going to report later because that is where Madison is located, and they have a lot more votes to count. Don't worry about it. All right? Don't worry about it. There will be a red mirage. There always is. And then, Republicans will always have a lead to start with. And Democrats will close the gap significantly because of mail-in voting, which has to be counted later in most states. Early in-person voting, which has to be counted later in most states. And the fact that, well, the blue areas are typically bigger cities. So they take longer to count. So don't worry if it starts going one way and then it goes the other way. That's just logistics. But again, if you haven't voted yet, go vote. All right? I'll see you next time.